can't believe it.
It's nice to see you.
Tom, yesterday, Izzy, Volk, Hangman, Rosas, Rico, DJ, but you're the final guest.
No, Andy's the big boss is the final guest.
And he truly is. But it is so, I can't believe you're here. Truly, you know why I can't believe you're here? Because like we've been talking about doing this, and then you're like, yes, we're going to get the big interview, and then I see you with Diary of CEO, and okay, we'll get one more, and then I'll see you with ESPN. Oh, one more, and then I'll see you on Piers more. So it's nice that you actually made time for the little people.
You, don't worry about it. Don't worry. We made it actually. We actually had a terrible journey. It took us 32 hours to get here.
Why?
First of all, let me start off by saying British Airways.
Shite.
Okay. Boycott British Airways.
Really?
Terrible.
That bad?
Terrible. First class seats. Made it to the gate. So originally we were flying Manchester to London, London direct to Vegas. That was the plan. The first flight was delayed from Manchester to London. Right?
Yep.
So anyway, we got there and we still had some time to spare. Rushed to the gate. The gate was still closed. Anyway, the gate opens. We go to scan the ticket. And the guy said, because our plane was delayed, even though we made it on time, they automatically cancelled us and put us on a flight the day after.
What?
There were like 20 people who were just cancelled. There were people there with kids who like saved up to go to Vegas like a once in a life. Like it doesn't matter for me really because I'm in Vegas like at least once a year. So it's pretty regular for me. But there were people there with kids. The kids were crying. Oh. They had to like move the flight to the next day. Then the next day, we flew to New York. We had a 6-hour layover in New York, and then we got to Vegas. So it was like a 32-hour thing. And there was they just said, that's just what the system does. So blamed it all on the system. Didn't take no accountability for it. Just cancelled our flights for no reason. We made it on time. Everything was good. Absolutely. So I'm being a bit of a Karen.
No, I know. It's all good. You're the champ.
I'm just complaining. I just want to put it out there. The champ is never flying with British Airways again.
Okay. What about back home?
I'm flying with Virgin.
You changed it?
No, it was Virgin.
It was
anyway.
always
It was
okay.
Virgin anyway, yeah.
So
big shout out to Virgin. I'm flying with them.
How has your time been in Vegas? All
Great.
good? Now
I love
the
Vegas.
champ?
Vegas is actually my favorite city in the world. Love Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you ever want to live here?
I don't know because it's crazy. I like going into the craziness and then out. Even now, I'm not staying on the strip or anything like that. I just dip in. And actually, this is my first. I've been here 2 days now. This is my first time coming into the strip since I've been here. I just stay away.
Are you going to the fight tomorrow?
I'm going to the fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to watch.
Just to watch.
Chat with the brass.
Yep.
Has the chat happened yet?
Nope.
When is the chat?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I have no idea.
What do you mean? This is like the crown jewel of the trip, right? What are they just going to call you? Come now?
Probably.
When do you think it happens?
Hopefully today.
Okay.
Today.
You'd like for it to be today.
We're going to Slap tonight.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You fan?
You know what? I don't agree with hitting someone else where they can't defend themselves. At least in MMA, boxing, kickboxing,
Sure.
etc. It's like an art form, and it's like you're expressing yourself through different techniques, putting yourself in different positions, etc., etc. Whereas slap, it's literally like, I don't know, like a dick measuring competition. So originally, no, but I actually went to an event in Vegas.
Oh wow!
Last time I was here, or the time before, and I actually quite enjoyed it. So I'm going again.
Okay, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
It's so great to be talking to you and with you in person here. There's a million places to start, but maybe we should start last Saturday. It's around 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is midnight in England, and I'm actually talking in our group chat, and I'm like, guys, isn't it great? These European events, they end early for us. Isn't it wonderful? And then all of a sudden, actually, Connor writes in the chat, like, did you see what Dana just announced? So I look online, and I see he announces that Jon Jones is retired. Like 12 minutes into the press conference, after someone asked about, like, is there going to be a deadline? Where is Tom Aspinall when this announcement is made?
I was in bed getting ready to sleep.
So you're awake?
I was usually, so it was around about midnight-ish. Usually I wouldn't be awake. I'm usually asleep before then. That particular day, I had been for a meal with my wife and some friends. We got in a little bit late, not too late, like 10, 11. So I was just like took a shower, was ready to sleep, got in bed. My phone started ringing. I'm like, it was actually my media guy, Charlie, who called me. And I'm like, why is Charlie calling me at like midnight? What the hell's going on? So I answered it and I was like, what's up? Like I didn't even like say hello. By the way, if you're from, maybe this will cross up, like, you don't really greet someone in the UK by saying what's up. What's up is more like a question of, is everything okay?
Oh, really?
Like in the US, people say, oh, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
We don't really use that in the UK.
Okay.
What's up means like what's wrong. So I answered it and was like, what's wrong? What's up?
Yeah.
And he's like, Dana's just announced that you're the champion. I was like, what? No way. Anyway, we had a little chat, put the phone down. Hunter Campbell called me, literally as I put the phone down. And as he called, all I could hear was the press conference like going on in the background, like with Dana. And originally I thought that he'd like pocket dialed me by accident, because I was like, hello? Like, it was loud.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like he was in the same room as Dana. And he just said, look, just letting you know, we've announced that you're the champion. Congratulations. We'll talk more next week. Bye.
That was it?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
What is your reaction?
I mean, I was relieved. I was relieved that this is all over, because I know you've backed me up on this a lot, and I appreciate it. I was never, ever, ever just chasing Jon Jones. And there was a lot of talk from people online and stuff, like there was a lot of comparisons to Chandler chasing McGregor. Chandler was chasing McGregor because he wanted a big fight and he wanted some money. Basically, that's what's happening there. I didn't care about a big fight or money. I cared about the heavyweight title. That's all I've ever been bothered about, is recognition for being the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. That's all I ever wanted to do. So originally, I'm just like relieved that I can actually fight again. I think a lot of people don't understand that. Look, I do some stuff in the media. I've got a YouTube channel. I do stuff across social media. I've got great sponsors and everything. Like, I do stuff in the media, obviously. But what my job is fighting people. And I haven't been able to do that for almost a year for no reason other than the politics of the UFC. So I'm happy just to be able to fight again.
So I called it shameful because, look, it seemed like we were getting to a point, you were saying it, he was hinting at it, that this wasn't happening.
Yep.
And so my thought was, you're going to be here in Las Vegas, it's International Fight Week, there's a ton of media, fans, do something before the press conference, before the event. I was at UFC 123 when Jose Aldo in Auburn Hills, Michigan was handed the featherweight title. I was at a press conference when Ronda Rousey was handed something to not soften the blow of the past year, but to make this seem like it's the heavyweight championship of the world. This is important. It's the new era. For it to happen like that in a sort of throwaway question felt very disappointing and deflating. Do you care about any of this, or is it really just I can move on now? There has to be some sort of like appreciation of the pomp and circumstance that it's like.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. It isn't great, in all honesty, but for me, in like 3 months when I fight or whenever I fight, that's all going to be forgotten about anyway.
Sure.
Like the accolade is still there that I'm the heavyweight champion. I can still fight somebody. So that was my focus. Yeah, it would have been definitely nice to get my flowers a little bit more, but I can do that in the octagon anyway. Me personally, I'm not too bothered. I can see where like yourself and other people are coming from. Like, that's a bit of a shitty way to do it.
Your father as well.
Yeah, my dad was the same.
He called it pathetic.
Yeah, and I can see where you guys are coming from, but for me personally, I'm just like so focused on what I got to do, which is fight somebody, and that's all I really care about.
And so you could probably also acknowledge that this has benefited you, even though it's been frustrating. You can now sit here and say, I believe you retired Jon Jones. You could sit here and say, I retired Jon Jones, and you did say last summer,
yeah, I did.
He will never fight me, and he will choose to retire instead of fighting me. So that is a feather in your cap.
Again, I see what you mean, but that's like ego talking.
Your presence made one of the greatest fighters of all time say, I'm not fighting anymore.
It is.
If you were a 42-year-old former champion who was sitting there, he probably is fighting.
Yeah, I think so.
In fact, he was campaigning to fight Francis Ngannou not that long ago.
Or Alex.
Yeah. So that's a feather.
It's a compliment.
Yes.
It's a
Are
compliment.
you taking it as such?
I guess so, yeah. But again, that's like my ego talking. So I'm like, whatever. I'm like done with that now, and I'm ready to move on. To be honest, yeah, I know what that's. I don't know. Like, I've been talking about Jon Jones.
I know.
I was happy
exhausted
to talk about Jon Jones to get the fight, and now the fight's not there. I'm just like, let's just move on.
I get it. Now, when did you start to believe it wasn't happening?
Few weeks ago, maybe. everybody seemed to think that Jon was like playing this game of let's make Tom not think I'm giving him the fight, and then I'm just going to spring it on him. But the MMA community at the highest level is a pretty small world, and I know people who've been out in Thailand at similar times that he was there. I know people who are around his circle, and I know that from the behaviour that he's doing outside the octagon, that he's not going to fight anytime soon.
Okay. So that's when you started to feel like when you met with the brass in London in March, when you told us you had the big meeting and there was the photo with you, your father, Hunter Campbell. Yeah. In that moment, did you believe it was happening?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah. And the UFC always... I honestly think I've got to be one of the easiest people for the UFC to ever work with. Because... And that's not me, like, blowing my own trumpet. Everything they tell me, I do. I never do anything like... They just told me for a year, be ready... Stay fit, stay in shape, be ready for a date, be ready for a contract. And that's what I've done for the last year. I've not done nothing else. I've took like no vacations. I'm not taking no days off. I'm looking after my diet. I'm doing my recovery. I'm doing the sparring. I'm doing the strength and conditioning. I'm learning new techniques. I'm doing everything that a professional fighter at the elite level should be doing to get ready for a fight. So that's all I've done for like the last 10 months or whatever it's been. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange situation, to be honest, but I'm so glad now that it's just done and I can move on.
And I appreciate that, and that's probably your cue to be like, let's move on. But there's still a few things.
I know that you're going to question me.
Well, no, because even today, even like 2 hours ago, he's still tweeting about it.
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Yeah, and he said that I told them 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I told them 1,000 times my plan, and they kept telling me like, hey, reconsider. And so while I understand you're a good partner and you want to be a good friend, I do wonder how much of the blame you put. Like, this could have been resolved probably. I reported a few months ago that he asked for a number.
Yeah.
They got him the number. I believe Saudi Arabia was involved in that process. He said he was in, and then he said he was out. And Dana White confirmed this last week. He said he was in, he said he was out. At some point, though, they could have moved on. Mm-hmm. And my theory was they were only going to move on when they had to move on, when they had to make a decision. Yeah. And they wanted you to fight in November. And so I'm just saying, I was always saying that the UFC isn't to blame because they got him what he asked for. Yeah. But then at some point...
They got to move it.
Yes. So do you put any sort of blame on the promotion?
I think you've got to be able to see Jon's point of view. I don't know. It's difficult to say because I don't know anybody else's business and I don't claim to know anybody else's business. It's just like, I know what they told me. What the UFC are doing and what Jon's doing is literally nothing to do with me. They told me to be ready. I was ready. They told me I've got this much time. I was preparing myself for that, and that's literally all I can do. The money and all that stuff, and that's got nothing to do with me.
So
I don't really.
And I know you hate talking about this stuff. And
I don't know who's to blame, to be honest. Yeah. But it's done. It's done. And I don't want to treat you like a regular journalist because I feel like me and you have a good relationship, and I would consider you a friend. So I don't want to cut you off and be like, Ariel, we're not talking about it. We'll move on. We'll leave it there and just give you like dead answers. But I'm just like done. I get the whole saga.
I get it. Yeah. Okay, can I ask you one thing as a fighter? I was just talking to DJ about it.
DJ was here today?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He was here like an hour ago.
Are you not like all talked out after talking to people for so long?
This is the culmination. This is my life.
Okay.
I could do this for 8 hours.
Got it.
This is what I wake up for.
You got stamina.
You wake up for sparring and fighting. This is my UFC 300. My theory is you cannot be considered the greatest of all time if you have PED infractions and if you don't fight the top guys. And so I believe George St. Pierre, and I know you love George, is the greatest of all time. As a result, he fought everyone, and when he couldn't fight, he dropped the belt right away.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
GSP is my greatest of all time. It goes without saying. Like, he has done everything. Like you say, two division champion. Also relinquished both of his losses. 0 PED stuff. And I think... I'm not getting at Jon here. I'm getting at anyone who's failed a PED test. So this is my view on PEDs personally. If you're a sprinter, for example, you do 100 meters and you take PEDs and you win a race, you become faster than people who are not taking PEDs from that. That's okay. You're a cheat. You've won. They'll take your title off you or whatever. That's fine. If your job is to hurt another person, physically hurt another person, which could potentially redirect the rest of their life post-fighting, you're an absolute piece of shit and you should never be able to fight again if you have any PED stuff. Like, it's like taking a gun to a knife fight. Do you know what I mean? It's like taking a knife to a bare knuckle fight. Like, how can you look yourself in the mirror when you know that you're cheating, and you could potentially damage the other person for life? Like, it's disgusting. And anybody who's caught doing any kind of PEDs, and I know there's some tainted supplements out there, but if you do it repeatedly,
multiple
like
times,
the first time, if it's tainted supplement, whatever, they look into it, you're all good. Fair enough. But if you're talking 2, 3, 4, 5 times and they're still letting you fight in a promotion, you're a pretty sick individual, in my opinion. It shouldn't be allowed. Or you do it the other way and you go, listen, no testing. Anyone can take what they want. And I think that there's a place for that as well. There's other organisations that don't test at all. If you want to do that, go and do that over there. But if you're in the UFC fighting the elite and you're failing multiple drug tests, and I'm not talking about Jon Jones in particular, I'm talking about anybody who's failed multiple PED tests, just because of the nature of the sport and how dangerous it is, I think it's disgusting.
Can I tell you one of the things that was so frustrating about all this? And by the way, for anyone who thinks that like you're putting on a front here by saying like, oh, it was never about Jon Jones, these are the exact same things that you would say
for 2 years.
But you would say it in private as well.
Yeah.
Even when I would say like, did you see this? What do you think of this? You have been consistent.
Yeah.
And so when he would try to make it into a thing like you're obsessed with him, and I would always say like, how many more times does the guy have to say he doesn't really care? It would be a nice cherry on top, but he wants the belt. When he would try to make this narrative that you're an asshole, that you haven't been going about it the right way, when you're literally being like, Jon, I like you, I just want to fight you, all good. It was that attempt, when he was trying to say like, this isn't a fight that interests me or you haven't done anything to deserve it. You look at your resume, you can make a very strong case that this would be the biggest fight on his resume since DC2 in 2017.
Maybe, yeah.
With all due respect to Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes and even Cyril and Stipe, Dana himself said it was the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. So there were a lot of attempts, I think, to make you into the bad guy or to change the narrative, which I think ultimately have now fallen on deaf ears. So I know you don't like to like weigh in on all this stuff or let it seep into your psyche, but in the end, it's the best case scenario other than fighting him. How this all played out in your favor, I would say best case scenario other than fighting him.
I mean, I guess, but you know what? I think that, see, for me, the second that I won the interim title, I think that a lot of people looked at me a little bit different to a regular interim champion, in my opinion.
You should have been the undisputed champion that night.
Yeah, that's what I think, just because of the politics around it and the way that things happened. But for me, I was always a champion anyway, interim or not, in my opinion, in my own view. But I would have liked to have taken it from the other champion, as in a fight. That would have been nice. But I guess it's worked out pretty good anyway, I guess. If it's difficult because for me it's really, really simple. And like you said, people, they always want to ask me about Jon Jones and stuff. And this very interview right now will be the last time I speak about it. I'm never going to speak to it about it again. I'm done with it. Anybody who asks me moving forward will get completely shut down about it. I'm not going to speak about it again.
Okay.
But like from here, like I just want to be done with it. I just want to move on. But I did want to fight him for it. I think that would have been the right thing to do.
How do you think it would have gone? Could I ask?
Me and Jon?
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate MMA nerd. I love MMA. I absolutely love MMA. I live and breathe for MMA. I've trained since I was 10 years old, 32 years old. Everything that I do in my life is centered around me being the best version of myself that I can be. Other things aside, the title, who Jon is, all the hype around it, all the money and all that kind of stuff, I legit wanted to find out how my style would get on with it. One of the greats like Jon Jones. I legit wanted to test my skills against his skills in a combat situation. But if you're going to ask me how I think I would have got on, after watching his last performance, I would favour myself, to be honest.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would.
In what way? Submission? Knockout?
Well, there's a lot of facets to my game that a lot of people haven't seen, which is great. That's the biggest advantage I've got in my game, is the fact that there's so many question marks about me. And I absolutely love it. That's one of my favourite things about where I'm at right now. Another thing is, I have the best heavyweight team in the world, in my opinion.
100%.
Some of the best heavyweights and light heavyweights in the world. train with us now. Now, our group is really tight. It's a tight-knit group of people who know what I'm all about, and that's amazing. Outside of that circle, nobody really knows me. I'm not going down to the PI all the time. I'm not training in ATT and these really popular gyms where everyone has access to me. We put stuff out on YouTube, but it's all censored.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that stuff out there about my actual game. So I am this massive mystery to everybody, and nobody knows anything about me really, apart from, a couple of minutes here and there in the octagon, which is one of the biggest advantages I've got.
Can I ask you about that word undisputed?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself the undisputed champion now? Because Jon didn't beat Francis, and unfortunately you didn't beat Jon.
Yeah.
So can you still carry yourself? Do you believe you're the undisputed champion?
I don't know. I see a lot of people, and they're always like, "Oh, the belt only counts when you defend it, or whatever." What a load of bullshit! Like, if you got the belt, you're the champion. Simple as that for me. Would I like to fight for it? I would have loved to have fought for it. I didn't have the opportunity to fight for it, unfortunately. So yeah, I do consider myself the undisputed champion. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I am the undisputed champion.
Sure. I just didn't know if you subscribe to that notion that you talked about, or I need to beat the guy to beat the guy, or so we were having this debate a couple of days ago. The next one, if it is in fact against Cyril, some might say, okay, Jon beat him in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. They're going to compare your performance. Do you think like that? You need to be...
No, I don't think like that.
Okay.
No, it's not important to me. I just got to beat the guy who's in front of me. That's it. Nothing else is... all the other stuff, it's pretty irrelevant to what I'm doing.
Because of all the drama of this past year, because there's going to be a huge spotlight. I mean, arguably, when you fight, it will be the biggest fight of 2025.
I don't know about that. There's some big fights coming up.
Man, but you have been the story. This has been a saga that has gone on since November 18th of last year, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Does it feel like you need to prove a point? Do you have to remind people that you were worthy of all this talk? Do you think of any of those things? Do you put that pressure on yourself?
I do a little bit. It's in there somewhere, but ultimately, I just got to do my thing. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. I got to prove it. And one of the massive advantages I've had is that I haven't been in camp. I've been training consistently every day for a year, nearly. But I haven't been in camp, which any fighter will know that when you're in camp, you got like 8, 12, 6, whatever you do training camp, and you've got that time to prepare for a specific opponent. Whereas with me, because I never signed a contract, I always thought I was going to fight Jon Jones, but I didn't know. I've just been consistently training just to get better. And the improvements I've made over the last 10, 11, 12 months, it's like unprecedented to any other improvement that I've made in my career. So I think that now I've added so much to my game that people just have no idea what they're up against, even more so than they did like this time last year. Right. So this is good. These are really good advantages for me.
By the way, at any point did they call you up and say, like, hey, like, we've got a fight. If you want to headline this show, you can defend your interest. Like, did they even cross that bridge with you at all, or was it always just
waiting? They're contracted to...
the 3 fights, right?
No. But the way that they were like, you can fight somebody else, but we'd rather you didn't.
Okay. So they were on board with you.
They really wanted me to fight Jon.
Yeah.
So, just some other stuff going on. Like, I don't really like talking about money and that publicly, but the fight I wanted the biggest fight, and I wanted the fight for the title. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was chasing the whole time. So I just wanted to go for that. I
have heard you say 2 fights in 25.
Yes.
But realistically, like, how? If the first one's in October, it's very rare that they give another.
It is rare. It is, but I'm here to set the records.
Have they told you, we're going to make this right by you? We're going to try to make this happen?
I'm going to tell them.
Okay. In the meeting. Can I come to the meeting?
I don't know if you
Can
want,
I be there?
If you want. No, I don't know what I'm going to do, but...
All you need is Andy, by the way. I can't wait for that.
Andy's what's the word? Shrewd. Is that right? He's a shrewd businessman, so he can get stuff done.
So is that the hope, October, December?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. I mean, things can happen in MMA, as we know. I might get injured. Somebody else might get injured. Whatever.
No, I was just wondering... sooner is impossible because everything's booked.
Everything's booked. That's the biggest issue that we're dealing with right now.
There's 2 pay-per-views in October. Do you have a preference?
5th and 25th, is that correct?
Vegas and Abu Dhabi. Do you have a preference? I think 26.
Earlier would be better, of course.
Okay.
Because I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, get it over with, yeah.
Well, I ain't getting it over with.
Well, I just mean like you want to get on.
I'm going to go and enjoy myself.
Yes,
I ain't
of course.
I'm going to get it over with. I'm going to be loving everything about it. See, the issue is, with Vegas in particular, as I mentioned at the top of the interview, Vegas is my favorite city in the world.
Yeah.
Love Vegas. The problem is, it's on the other side of the world for me.
Yeah.
It's an 8-hour time difference, and that takes preparation. Also, if I'm fighting in Abu Dhabi, we're talking way less tax, first of all, so it's better for me financially.
Even with Vegas, no state tax here.
Yeah, but you still have to pay American tax.
Okay, yeah.
And also, it's a 3-hour time difference from the UK, which works a lot better in my favour. But I would want to fight earlier. So ultimately, I do what I'm told. I'm just...
Is there any chance MSG? They say, oh, it's
MSG in November.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait till November.
Yeah.
I want to fight as early as possible. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I could be ready to go this weekend if they wanted me to.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather not. I just ate a big dirty fries and stuff last night. I would rather not. But
you could. Like, you seem to be in incredible shape.
I'm in shape. I've been sparring. I've been doing all kinds. I'm really lucky because just talking about the team again, just going back to that, we set up, we got a few guys, not a few guys, we've got maybe 8 to 10 guys, heavyweights, who are with us all the time. And then other guys fly in for their camps now from other places in the world. So I can't, unless I want to get my ass kicked on a regular basis, which isn't great, I got to stay ready to spar these guys at all times. Like, guys are flying in for the camps from everywhere, from all parts of the world. And I have one of the best training partners, one of my closest training partners now, who's just got signed to the UFC.
Auntie.
Yeah. He is a former PFL champion. He's just recently signed to the UFC, and he's essentially moved over from Croatia to train with us full time. And he has brought me on so much in the last year that, and he's going to be doing big stuff in the UFC himself, so it's going to be good.
What happens? There's a few of you.
So we now have
Mick.
Me. You got to remember the UFC heavyweight division is very shallow in comparison to other divisions. There's me, Mick, Ante, and Martin Boudet, who's ranked as well.
Yep.
Or maybe just outside the rankings. So there's if Ante wins his first fight, I can't reveal his fight right here, but he's fighting someone in the top 10 straight away.
Yeah.
So if he wins his fight, he's probably going to be in the top 10. We're going to have 4 ranked heavyweights out the top 15 in the gym training together.
So what happens?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You're good buddies with these guys.
Yeah, so I've got a rule. Do you want to know my rule?
Yes.
If somebody comes to my house, I'm never going to fight them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And have they all been to your house?
They've all been to my house. Yeah. So my home is very precious to me.
Yeah.
That's I believe your home is like your little part of the world.
Sure.
So if I invite someone to my home, that means that I trust them 100%. Not anybody can just walk up to my door and come in. I don't trust people like that. So if someone's invited into my home with my family, I trust them 100%. And if I'm going to fight somebody and I've got bad intentions, I can't do that to someone who's been in my home.
Right.
That's my rule.
I respect it. And those guys are doing great. And I even saw, we had Rico. I was just talking to him.
Rico's my good friend as well. He's my training partner for a long time.
This is something people need to know about you. You have, the kids say I'm glazing. You know what that means?
Of course I do.
They're glazing.
Yeah.
I'm not glazing. I'm telling it like it is because I have the privilege of interacting with so many of you guys over the years. I ask you to come do this.
Yep.
The first thing you say is, hey, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but Rico's in town too if you want to talk to him. He had already been booked.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That just speaks to who you are as a person. You keep wanting to talk about your team. By the way, we didn't talk about Phil DeFries.
Phil DeFries, legend. He's got another fight coming up as well.
Already?
Which is great. Already,
He just fought.
I don't know if I can announce that.
Okay, no.
Apologies if I did.
But it just speaks to, and you always tell me hey, Phil, show him some love.
Yeah.
You're always looking out for others, which I appreciate. And people need to know that. Not a lot of people do that. I saw you and Rico do this thing where you're punching each other in the stomach.
Yeah, Rico's crazy, man.
Yeah, what is that?
Rico's one of them guys who acts normal, but he's absolutely insane. Yeah. You know one of them type of guys.
Yes.
He comes across really normal,
His
but he's
hair is
insane.
coiffed to the side. He looks
fantastic.
like a choir
Yeah,
boy.
he looks fantastic. The guy is absolute machine. And you got to remember, I'm at the top level now, but when me and Rico started training together, which is 10 years ago.
Yeah. Fury, right? Fury camp?
Yeah, we met in the Fury camp, yeah. I was a nobody. And Rico has always been amazing to me. Absolute inspiration. The things that Rico does, even though we're in different sports, I try and take that on myself, which is just the way he acts outside the ring, his day-to-day habits, the way he lives, and Rico's an awesome guy. So, and I think someone else who doesn't get enough love is his coach, Dennis. He is my coach as well. Me and Rico are we're essentially from the same team. Like, even though we're in different sports, we kind of swap ideas. We go there, they come to us, and stuff like that. Dennis is like a family friend of ours as well. He works closely with my dad, and Dennis is like the mind behind Rico as well. So Dennis isn't a guy who loves the media. You won't catch Dennis on the interviews or anything like that. But he's a serious mind when it comes to combat sports as well.
That thing where he's punching you in the stomach.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if you saw the video, he had this meter.
Yeah.
And you guys are going at like 25% and then 35%. How much does that hurt?
Well, that day, you got to remember, me and Rico have been sparring together for a long time.
Yeah.
That day, I think we did. We just sparred that day.
Yeah, so it looked like you did. You were all sweaty.
We were already punching each other for like maybe 8 rounds before that.
But you're just standing there and you can't block it.
I know. I don't know. Rico's a crazy person.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love.
He pitched us this idea. So I first came up with the idea of him fighting Francis.
Yeah.
And then he said, let's take it another level. Let's do 3 fights, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, spread out over a few months.
Yeah.
Pretty damn cool.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think.
What's the score at the end of that?
So they do MMA, boxing. See, the thing is with Rico, he's like such a big athletic guy, and he's so like in tune with his body, if that makes sense. He's been in combat sports his whole life, like me. I'm sure he could pick up grappling pretty quick. That being said, Francis has been grappling for a long time. I think it would definitely be 2-1.
Yeah.
To Rico.
He'd win the boxing.
Yeah.
And the kickboxing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
The boxing is like the ultimate.
I think I said to Rico,
50-50.
I think that they should have a boxing fight with MMA gloves. I think that would be a good,
that would be a fun
good
one.
little hybrid.
Yes.
The thing with Rico that he struggles with, not that he struggles with, because the thing just that the world struggles with is he has totally eclipsed his sport.
Yeah.
Like
no one else.
There's no one even, not at the moment, there's no one close to him. Like, he is way bigger than the sport of kickboxing, which is a shame, because if Rico has done in MMA what he's done in kickboxing, he would be the ultimate megastar, which he is in like Holland and the areas where kickboxing is massive. The problem is globally, kickboxing isn't that big, and that's no fault of Rico's. It's just the sport that he's in. But I think Rico's got a little bit more in the tank to do whatever he wants. He is like, I don't know, he should get what he deserves financially, and not only financially, but he should be respected, because he's the GOAT of kickboxing.
Has he been to your house?
Rico has not been to my house, but I've been to Rico's house. So that's equally...
I saw you guys eating together.
Yeah, that's equally as important.
Okay.
Like, for me, if someone invites me to the house, that's big stuff.
Okay.
Like I said to you before, if you're in Manchester, you're invited to my house.
Appreciate that.
That goes like a long way with me. I don't just bring anyone.
That means
into
a
my
lot.
house. So I've been to Rico's house. Rico looks after me every time I'm in Holland, so he's my friend. I would never fight him.
Greater chance of happening in your career before it's all said and done. Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's so difficult to say, because if I sit here and say, Jon's done, I don't know Jon. So I don't know if he is done or not. I don't know if this is normal.
Izzy yesterday said he thinks he comes back.
Maybe Izzy knows him better than I do. I don't know Jon. I don't claim to know Jon. I know he's going through some demons right now, and I genuinely wish him the best of luck. Genuinely. I have no ill will towards him at all. I hope that everything's all right with his life.
Do you think he retired because of all this?
I don't know. I don't know why is that why they announced it early, in your opinion?
I thought so.
Yeah.
And then I asked the reporter who broke the news, and he said he was sitting there. He saw the news. It was a local reporter in New Mexico, and he said, let me just take a look at the police records of the last few months, see if anything pops up, and there it was. Because it was in February, and somehow got...
I wasn't sure if it was like a prearranged question.
It seems crazy. No, I don't think so. But it's just an insane coincidence. Maybe the UFC thought it was coming, and they were trying to get... I don't know, but the whole thing is very weird.
I don't know. They said that they spoke to him last night, so maybe it was just fresh on his mind, and he was just like, I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to say it. Who knows, man? They knew that I was coming to Vegas this week, though, so I don't see why they didn't just wait. But that ain't my job, man. I'm just here to fight people, that's all.
By the way, I asked you about the time frame. If it was up to you, and don't just say anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you fighting?
You know, I know you said don't just say anybody, but I'm honestly...
Come on, Tom!
I'm an easy guy. I'm an easy guy to get to fight somebody.
There's the history.
Cyril Gan's there.
There's Cyril or Jalton.
It's the biggest history. Oh, we can do Volkov too.
Volkov,
but that's a bit weird because he's coming off a loss.
Yeah.
Which I actually did think he won, to be fair.
It's Almeida. Almeida's actually, fair play to him. He's been pushing.
Good. Yeah, man. I like it.
But you and Cyril have like a 2-year thing.
Yeah,
where
probably longer.
Yeah.
You got to remember that so we got in the UFC around about the same time, I think. I think he maybe had 1 or 2 fights before me. And there was always talks about us fighting each other. I was chasing that fight when he was above me.
Yeah. I remember him saying he didn't want to fight back.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight. He said it on your bloody show.
Yeah.
That's why. I was watching that thinking, oh my God, this guy doesn't want it. Any of them. All of them. You know what I mean? I'm here to fight people, so anybody's good. Somebody wants to fight me. I like that, man. I love that.
You know, Almeida's interesting because of the ground game.
Yeah, I like it. Cool. Love it. Love it.
Those are the 2 fights, 2025.
Let's
the
do
problem
both.
is you've been interim champ or had to work your way up. You fought a lot of the dudes already.
Yeah, I did.
There's not a lot of fresh blood.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd like to do? This is going to be tough because of the teammate thing.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to beat all of the top 10. That's what I'd like to do.
Okay, where are we at now?
I think I beat 6 now.
You beat 6. We have the rankings.
I beat about 6, I think,
okay.
of the top 10.
Currently?
Yes. And all in the first round.
Jeez, that's
crazy.
Here it is. So Cyril, you haven't.
No, Volkov I did.
Yep. Pavlovich you
I
did.
did.
Blades you did.
Blades
Almeida 2 no.
Oh, there's even like people sneaking in now. Topuria I did. Spivak I did. Tuivasa, Derek Lewis, Waldo, Cortez, Acosta I didn't. And
All right, so you got some work
yeah,
there.
they've got some work to do,
But
yeah.
a lot of these, like, you know, some of them are on losing streaks. I don't know if they ever get to you.
It's a tricky situation, isn't it? I understand.
The heavyweight division is not, it's not the glory days of the heavyweight division at the moment.
Not right now, but I have faith. Let's make heavyweight great again.
Are there any dudes that you see, like, you know, who are 1-0 in the UFC who are coming up that you're like, okay,
I don't keep track, to be honest with you.
That.
No, not anymore. I don't.
What
really
about Alex? That's the biggest one.
Alex
Pereira.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
You see him on the scale. He was like 243.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty regular though. Pretty normal, no?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know Alex again. I don't know him at all. If I just lost the way he did,
yeah,
I would want to go get that one
sure.
back. But I don't know Alex. Maybe
did they ever try to make it even last year?
No, not really. No.
You
not to my knowledge.
You guys were kind of flirting with each other.
I quite like flirting with ideas. Online flirting's my...
There was some... I don't know how much of that was just like for fun or real.
Well, there was that picture someone took a picture of, like, me staring at him. But I do that with all the fighters. It's not just Alex. I like fighter psychology, so I like to look how they're looking right before they step in the octagon. That's interesting for me. Oh, I believe Coach Andy is coming in.
Listen,
I'm just going to sit back and let him talk.
You're the second most talked about Aspinall in the world right now.
Headlines.
Let's say hello to the most talked about Aspinall in the world right now. Here he is, the man himself, Mr. Aspinall. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. I've been looking forward to this. Please have a seat. I said to your son that he's the second most talked about Aspinall in the world right now. You're the first.
Really?
Yes. By the way, I love this Las Vegas Andy Aspinall look with the shorts, and it's a very chilled look.
Yes.
All you're missing is like one of those hats and like the big drink. You know,
the one with the drink attached.
Yeah.
Love it.
If you don't mind just talking into the, don't be shy. I know you're not shy, Andy.
No, I'm not shy. No.
Yeah, come in. Frank, you hear him? Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're working through it. By the way, look at this gear.
Champion.
Sold out, mate. You can't get it
Sold
anymore.
out.
The heavyweight range is sold out.
This.
Yeah.
It's sold out.
Gone.
Yesterday.
Worldwide or in America?
Worldwide. It's now available though on the US stores. So if you want to buy it, you can head over there. It's beautiful stuff. Do you not think?
It's incredible.
I know you love the champion stuff.
Well, I couldn't help but notice. I think you did an interview yesterday with ESPN, and you were gifting stuff.
That was the last one, mate. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
We did try.
Even Connor tried to buy off the website.
No, we sent it to the offices. Don't worry.
Okay,
yeah, it's coming your way.
Appreciate that. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Yep.
Well, I'm not PT Carroll, your favorite media member, but this will have to do.
We talk.
No, I know, but I know PT's number one on your pound for pound list, as he should be.
Yep.
He's the man.
Yep.
You made your opinions known. I was just wondering, did he call you up afterwards after this?
Yeah.
And what did your son say to you when this article came out?
He was all right.
He was okay with it.
I can only be honest.
Sure.
If somebody asks me a question, I'm probably old enough and wise enough to just give an answer. And if people don't like the answer, they don't like the answer.
Right.
It is what it is.
There's only a certain amount of shits you can give. And I think that when you're 62 years old, how many knee surgeries you had, Dad?
24 knee surgeries.
Is that true?
Quadruple bypass. Quadruple heart bypass.
Wow.
2 neck surgeries. Tom did most of them.
No, that's a lie.
He's responsible for
That's a lie.
Quadruple bypass. When was that?
2018. Didn't know, just had pains.
Wow.
I think you should tell him the full story about the way that you had a heart attack. It's fantastic.
Tell us.
I just was getting pains in my chest when I was grappling. So he stood me up against a wall, pushing on my chest, because I was in a match with somebody one night. And it turned out, I went to hospital and just said, look, I'm getting these pains. I think I've had a heart attack.
No, I think he's missed a bit out. Do you want me to tell you?
Please.
So we used to be grappling and stuff in the gym, and he used to say like, oh, I've got this pain in my chest when he was like rolling and stuff. He's like, when I get my heart rate up, I can feel this pain in my chest. And he said the same when you were walking the dog as well. He said, well, as soon as my heart rate gets up, I get this pain in my chest. So he kept going and going, didn't it? Like he was training, and it kept happening. And then he said, right, I'm going to go and walk the dog. I'm going to get my heart rate up. I'm going to go to the hospital and tell them that I've had a heart attack. So he walked the dog, got in the car, drove to the hospital, and he said, I've got this chest pain. I think I might have had a heart attack. And he said, yeah, you have.
Wow.
Stay in and have a quadruple bypass.
Yeah, so he had to stay in the hospital for like, it was about 3 months, wasn't it?
3 months?
No, it wasn't 3
It
months.
felt like it.
Yeah,
About-
no, it wasn't.
It was
No.
about 6 weeks though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was in hospital a while. I
Wow.
don't know, 2 weeks or whatever, and then it was all right.
And then you were back on the mats. And so can I ask where, I asked him where he was. He told me he just had a shower. He was about to go to bed. Where were you when the news came out last week?
About Tom being champion.
Yeah.
I was at home. I got a text message. No, I got a phone call off you.
You were awake?
And then I was awake. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't go to bed early. I got a phone call off Tom saying, guess what? Dana White's announced. And at the same time, I was talking to Tom, Hunter said Dana's just announced in the press conference that Tom's the champion.
What was your reaction?
We've done this a long time, so I just think there are a lot better ways of doing, it's the flagship weight group. It should be Jon Jones retired, that should have been done properly. Announcing a champion, I think, should be done properly.
Sure.
And I don't think it was done properly.
At any point were you, and people should know, not only are you Tom's father, you're his head coach, you're his manager as well. So
Agent, manager. Whatever.
agent, manager, whatever.
Better
yes.
title, give me
You're the guy. You're the
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
So your opinion is very, very important and valid. At any point were you told, hey, if it's going to happen where it's not going to be Tom versus Jon, we have these plans. International Fight Week, we're going to do this, we're going to make a ceremony, we're going to hand him the belt. Were you ever told something different than what had played out last week in Baku?
No, we'd always been told that they'd got the Jon fight. And we thought they'd got the Jon fight. And then we got asked, we were coming to International Fight Week, and I asked why, and Hunter said, things will get sorted there. So we didn't ask any questions what was going to get sorted and how. And then that news came up.
Okay. Fair to say that it was a little deflating for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not. I'm old. Seen a lot of things in life. It was just. I just don't think it was done properly.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot better ways to have done it. And if I sat anybody in my seat or in his seat and said, could you have done it better? 99% of people would have said, yeah, they could have done it better.
That meeting that you had in London with Hunter,
Yep.
did you believe afterwards that it was going to happen?
Yeah. We thought we were going to get the Jon Jones fight.
Yeah.
They
And
were always very confident.
There was an incentive
Yeah.
for Tom, and Tom wanted to beat the best guy there's ever been, obviously. And if he had took a fight, it would have probably been in July anyway, because we were in March then, maybe. And then International Fight Week, we thought we'd miss that, so it wouldn't be then. But it could have been then. So we thought he'd have 12 months off. Or it could have been November, and we thought, well, another few months isn't going to make a difference. We'll just wait another few months.
This process where you have a son who's a fighter, who's the best in the world, who's healthy, who's ready to go, and you have to train him, but you're not training for anything, right? You don't have a date, you don't necessarily have an opponent. As his coach, how did you manage that? Because I can't imagine what's that like as a pro athlete, waking up every morning without the thing in your mind that you have to, strive towards.
The hard bit for me was that, we found out that Jones got injured maybe 2 weeks before he got the call to go to fight Pavlovich.
Yeah.
And I said to him, this isn't going to turn out good.
What do you mean?
Jon Jones has got a history of being notorious and hard to deal with. So Jon Jones had fallen out of a fight for the championship. The guy who was supposed to fight, the backup fighter, didn't step in for whatever reason. So he didn't fight Pavlovich, which he should have done for the title. And Jon Jones should have been retire or get fit and come back. And he didn't. So they rang and said, not will you save the card, but we've got a heavyweight fight with a guy Jones and Stipe was off the table. So there's Tom and Pavlovich fighting for interim. And I said, if you win this, it's going to be hard work. So we've gone through a period where he won the interim. You defend an interim, whatever an interim is. And loads of shit. I don't read the internet. I don't go on the internet. If anybody's listening to this and adds me on stuff, it's not me, because I don't do it. But you get loads of stuff coming up saying you should do this, you should do that. But you're the interim world champion and you've beaten 5, 6, how many at the top 10? He's beaten 6 maybe. So now he's in line for fighting Jon Jones. So we have to sit and wait, and then will he fight in the middle of the night against, Topuria? Yes, he will, because it's in the hometown. He wants the win back. So we took that fight. So Blades, sorry. Bloody hell. Going mad. So fought Blades in the middle of the night. And hard preparation with him. What do I do? Do I eat? Do I not eat? Do I sleep? Do I not sleep? We got all that. And Leon had some difficulty doing it. So we were along with kind of doing that, not doing that. He wins that fight. Right, we're going to get a next fight. When is it going to be? You're going to be a backup fighter now. Oh, this is going to be awful, Tom. So we had to do a 12-week training camp, and he's saying, they're not going to fight me. So you have to make him train. He's a real good athlete and wants to train, but it's still difficult. He's still got very, very hard sparring partners. He's got to be switched on every session so he don't get injured. So we do that, and then that goes, and he gets some money for that. And then we've got to wait for Jon Jones then. So we've been waiting. It's going to be 2 years almost.
Yeah.
Where I, as a coach, don't know how to prepare the athlete. We've worked on loads of stuff. He's got a lot better than he was, because everybody tells us that. He's got eyes, you can see that. But it's not been ideal. We would have preferred fight, because that's how he earns a living. Unfortunately, he's not been earning a living, which is not good.
Has that been tough, Tom? Ultimately...
Not earning a living?
Yeah.
Like getting money, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some great sponsors.
Shout out to Champion.
Shout out to Champion.
And others.
Yeah. I've got a lot of good stuff. And I've got a good contract as well. I mean, we've made some money, do you know what I mean? But I still want to make more.
But you're approaching 11 months without
your main thing. I want to
thing.
make as much as I can, yeah. It's not the money as such, it's more just like being active. I just enjoy fighting, so it was more that as opposed to anything else.
How did Champion come about? Because this is by the way, like one of the greatest in terms of like synergistic sponsorships of all time. This being such a big story.
We've done well, both of us, with the timing and stuff.
Golly, they couldn't have scripted. Did you reach out to them? They reach out to you? How did this happen?
A little bit of both. So Champion is someone that I've known about Champion forever. They've had a little bit of a dip in the recent years, and I want to help bring them back up. But I think it's just like an authentic brand. We had a lot of meetings with a lot of other brands when I became a free agent on the clothing side of things. And is it apparel or apparel? I never know how to say it. Apparel. I think apparel as well.
Apparel sounds French.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
Apparel. On the apparel stuff, we had a lot of meetings with a lot of great companies and stuff, but Champion just felt right. I just felt like I really like the guys who work there. I really like the brand. They gave me, what's the word? Shaq said it in his documentary. They gave him creative
control.
Creative control. They give me creative control.
So you have a say.
I have a say of what I want my stuff to look like.
Lovely.
Yeah. And I just felt like the team we just clicked really well. And I just think I click well with the brand in general.
And it's unique to you. There's no other MMA fighter that has a deal with them. I think they just signed a boxer I saw.
Katie Taylor.
Jesus.
Yeah,
of course. I sent it to the guys.
You're a big Katie Taylor.
I adore Katie.
Yeah, that's
She's coming back in 2 weeks. Yes, of course. I saw the promos. Brilliant.
Yeah. I just think they're great, and I think that I really want to head up that resurgence of Champion. But not only that, it's a long-term deal. It's going to take me to at least the end of my fighting career. But now just working with them even for a few months, it's something that I want to do beyond fighting as well. I think that I want to work with Champion, hopefully, beyond fighting and the rest of my working life.
Can I ask you, Andy? I'm a father as well. My kids are much younger than your kids. How many kids do you have, by the way?
2. I've got 2 sons.
2 sons. Is the other one's younger, right?
The other one's 3.5 years younger. Yeah.
He trains too.
Yep.
Fights?
No.
No interest?
Maybe we thought he had at first, but tons of ability, super tough. Not that interested in fighting.
Heavyweight? Would he
Same.
be? Same.
Yeah,
what does he do?
Exactly the same. He just works for a company. It's normal.
Regular job.
Yeah.
Happy.
Trains, teaches jiu-jitsu a bit.
Lovely.
Good jiu-jitsu guy.
I have 2 boys as well.
Yep.
I watch them play soccer. They're 13 and 11. If someone even like breathes on my son, I don't say anything, but like you want to defend your child,
sure.
right?
Yeah,
Your cub.
yeah.
And so, again, the relationship is different. To see all this happening to your son, how difficult has the past year been for you?
The last 3 or 4 years have been not difficult. I've loved it. You know, it's what I packed in a job when I was teaching. I was an MMA guy. Sorry, I was a computer guy. Didn't do MMA because I missed the boat. I was too old, and I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. So I can pass a skill on to my kids, jiu-jitsu. So both of them did it.
How old were you when you started?
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
1996 or 97.
Okay, wow.
30 something.
Yeah.
So I just loved the sport because my knees were bad and couldn't stand up, and so I started teaching jiu-jitsu. And I just thought it was something I could get my kids to do. They love it. He's always loved it. And then he changed his mind and went MMA a bit, and then went boxing, and then went back to MMA. Fallouts at the time, he didn't want to do it anymore. Tons of ability. Managed to steer him the right way and do it.
Was there a point where you were actually done?
About 6 times.
No, loads of times. Yeah.
I would have been done if it weren't for my dad.
Really?
Yeah, we've had some big
Yeah.
arguments over it. That
What do you mean? He came to you and said,
I'm done. Oh yeah, several
loads of
times.
when was the last time?
No, he's not done it.
Oh,
for
I've
the
not done it
last
since I've
5
been in the
years.
UFC or anything
Okay.
like that. Yeah, before.
But like you were still a pro MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And what was the reason?
Because there isn't pro MMA outside the UFC.
Sure.
Well, maybe in.
Well, no, there is Cage
No,
Warriors,
yeah,
isn't
Cage
there?
Warriors, PFL, and
Yeah.
It was so hard to
KSW
get
stuff.
fights.
It was just hard to make
When
money.
you're fighting on the local scene, you ain't. I mean, technically you're a professional MMA fighter, but you're not supporting your family doing that.
Yeah.
You're not paying your rent or barely even buying food.
Did you have another job?
Yeah, I had multiple other jobs.
Like what?
You should teach
I used to teach
jiu-jitsu,
jiu-jitsu. Something I actually really enjoyed. So it wasn't like work as such. I used to work in a gym. I used to work security. I used to be like a delivery driver for a takeaway food.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd done bits and bats of everything just to get by.
And why didn't you let him move on?
Well, it's kind of back to your question. He had tons and tons of ability, and I just knew that. My dad used to say to me, and then to my kids, and used to stand them in front and say, "Every day I'm getting better and better." He used to make the kids say that to him. That was his kind of mantra, and he adopted that. And at jiu-jitsu, he just got better and better. The other son did. He just kept getting better. The hard thing was he couldn't get fights. Packed in the fighting, went boxing. Boxing fights, he had to pay the opponent. Long story, but he didn't like it. Thought the training was a bit boring because there was no grappling in, because he was essentially a grappler. And then got into MMA, and then we did the MMA bit for a while, and then he just wanted to sack it off. He said, "I'm not doing it. It's not right. I don't like this about this. I don't like." He didn't like lots of things, and you've got to do it. And we just had lots of heart-to-hearts where he had no money. So we lent him money, and you've got to do this. You've got to just give it one more try, and the kind of one more try, and the trying to do everything. He's talked about it multiple times in interviews. To try and do everything properly.
Yeah.
You're going to get this guy to do this for you. You're going to do this. You're not going to listen to this guy over here. This guy, we don't want him in the gym. You know, different things that I've found the hard bit is everybody, like even yesterday, everybody wants a piece of him now. You know, he goes and hits pads with somebody, and they're telling him how to be the best fighter in the world because they've hit pads once with him. You know, and I just find it a weird world. That's why I don't do the social media. I can't.
Right.
I'm there every day, rain, hail, shine, for 25 years of training with him. I know him a million times better than anybody.
Sure.
But everybody else, and this is the irritating bit to me sometimes, but I'm good at switching off now. They'll tell stories about Tom, and I'll be sat there, and then they'll look at me and they'll go, "Do you know this?" I said, "Yeah, but you got the story wrong." Because I know the story.
Yeah, of course.
And
Sure.
and you know what it's like, the gossip. And it's just different when he's famous, if you like. And everybody will say, he'll want a piece of you, he'll want a piece of you, he'll want to do this, and everybody's his best friend. You know, since the word Undisputed appeared, my phone's never stopped ringing. You know, he's got multiple best friends who he's not seen for 20, 30, a long time.
Yeah.
You've got relatives ringing you up, can he do this, can he do that? It's just gone a bit crazy, the world.
Hearing this, I sort of lament the fact that you didn't get that moment in the cage where you get to beat the guy and get. But maybe that moment was New York.
Yeah, maybe.
Was that moment New York to you?
No. What is success? What is being great. You know, you do it and you achieve something, and then you wake up the next morning, you're back to where you were. You got a bad back, you still got a bad back, it still aches. You know, you still got to go through the same process and do it again. And it's at a time where you say, do I look back here and enjoy it? I just don't know the point in life, not me personally, but how people, are you there or are you levelling off, or you, because he's a heavyweight fighter that anything happens to. He loves the sport, he loves to compete. He's not been competing. He wants to get back to competing. And I just think then we just go on another journey where he'll compete another 5-10 times, and he might lose some, he might win them all, who knows, but it's just a sport.
I asked him earlier, how would the Jones fight have gone, and he gave a very
I think
nice
in the last
calm.
year he's
How would it have gone? If they would have fought in November, how do you think the fight goes?
the Jon Jones that we saw last November.
Yeah, but they're fighting this November.
I don't know what Jones, if it was the Jones that was in the cage against Stipe last year and he'd have fought Tom last year, Tom would have beaten him.
How?
I think how he wanted.
Okay.
Because Jon Jones didn't look that fast, that fit, that good. If he'd trained really well, Tom's trained really well this year. If Tom this year would have fought that Jones last year, I think he could have done anything. Nobody's seen what he really can do yet.
Yeah.
The guys who come training with us, you know, we've got some really good guys, and they go away and I come back and say, spar him, and they spars him, is this better, is this better? And they can say to me, yeah, I think that's good. I think so. They're really good for the team. And we talk a lot about what's good for each other and train with each other. He's still getting better. So I think whichever way, heavyweight MMA is heavyweight MMA, one punch.
Sure.
But I don't think Jon Jones has the tools. He might have cut him, the ref stops the fight, but I don't think as far as submitting him or pinning him down and elbowing him or catching him in a choke, I don't think.
He says he has no preference who the first defense, if you want to call it that, is against. Do you have a preference?
Do you know what I'd like to do? He's beaten 5 or 6 of the top 10.
Yep.
I'd like him to fight everybody in the top 10.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, he just said that before you walked in. But who's first?
Well, I couldn't have known that because I
know. But that just shows that you guys are in the
who's
on
first?
the same page. Yeah.
Anybody. It doesn't really matter to me. Cyril Gane. Everybody says Cyril Gane or Almeida.
This is the top 10, by the way, for reference up here. Or you can see it right there.
Volkov is beaten. Pavlich
Yep.
beaten. Blades is beaten. Almeida's there. Cortez Acosta's just got there. Tybura is beaten. Spivak is beaten. Lewis and Tuivasa. He'd beat those.
It's really Cyril or Almeida.
So Almeida, I don't think Almeida wants that fight. He
Yeah,
keeps saying
he's
he'd
been
want the
very
fight.
vocal, yeah.
I don't think Cyril Gane deserves to have a fight with him for the title yet, because he's already had 2 and lost them both.
Yes.
So Cyril Gane should fight a really good grappler and see if he's got his grappling up to scratch.
Maybe
And then give him
Almeida.
a fight with Tom. Maybe Almeida.
But
If
the
he's
problem is if they
Who
fight
gonna
each other.
fight
Yeah,
then?
you got no
if he's the only one.
Shadow
and then-
boxing in the ring and doing
then
sprawls
fight
on my
Cyril
own.
I don't.
Alex
Just-
Pereira. Do you want the Alex Pereira fight?
Any fight.
Yeah.
I'd love the Jon Jones fight just because he wants to try and prove that he
Sure.
can beat anybody in a fight. It's
not that
a
tricky.
martial arts thing.
It's honestly, with me, it's not that tricky. I just want to fight people.
No,
Yeah.
I know. You've made
It's
that
not that
very,
I
very
just
clear.
this is what I think. If he fights Cyril Gane now and beats Cyril Gane in what did John beat him in? 2 minutes. Call it 2 minutes exactly.
Yeah.
If he beats him in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, not as clean as Jon Jones beat him, we start all this shit again where Jon Jones wants to fight
Well,
him,
that's
so they
just
sign Jon.
bullshit anyway.
No, I know it's bullshit, but Jon Jones tells the UFC he's going to come back and fight you.
You think so?
Who
I don't know.
knows?
As long as you're the top dog.
Yeah, but
I don't
who
know.
knows is the answer.
Right, let's say I fight any of them.
Yeah.
Just Cyril Gane, for
Doesn't
example.
bother. Yeah, I'm not
Say
bothered.
I beat him.
Yeah.
And it's a shit fight, and it's a 5-round bore fest. Everyone comes out and says Tom's not that good. He's a
not
fraud,
very good,
whatever. Which they will, because
Yeah.
that's what MMA. That's what happens. In 5 years, none of that matters anyway.
No, it doesn't.
Still won.
Yeah.
So what does it matter anyway? It's only what people say. Who gives a shit about that?
And the
Yeah.
Jon Jones thing in 2 weeks. No, he's retired. Nobody's asked.
I
Tom
think
will-
you
Tom
told
will
me
fight.
he said before this is the last time you're going to talk about Jon Jones. Whenever that fight is, it's going to be asked.
I
of
know.
you.
I'd sooner it just be if John's finished now. He's had a great career.
Yeah.
However, it's finished was wrong. Delivering it to us might have been right for him or the UFC. Who cares? But Tom should be allowed to get on with his career now without talking about Jon Jones.
You're
Doesn't
100%
matter.
right. It's just a matter, the media. You get some great media. Like I see you with Piers. I saw you on Diary of a CEO. That game show that PT always talks about. He's always very impressed.
Which one?
You were on some
Question
sort
of Sport.
Oh yeah, he loves that.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. That was a while ago now.
I know, but he always mentions that as
it's
like
mainstream stuff. Yeah,
yes,
it's more mainstream.
You get
stuff,
the. Do you feel like now the UK media is going to really be behind you? Because
I don't know. I hope so.
The Simon Jordans of the world.
The Simon Jordans.
Yeah.
I won't be speaking to him.
Oh, you don't like him?
And I'm only joking. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I just know he's talked sport. The
No, I will speak to everybody apart from
Sky.
Why not?
Because of reasons I can't disclose. I think they're very unprofessional.
Okay.
I'll never speak to. You'll never catch me doing a Sky interview ever, or working for Sky. Never.
Wow. Okay.
Never.
They disrespected you?
Disrespected me massively. I'll never work for them.
And you don't want to say why?
I'll never say why.
Okay.
They know why.
They know
And
why.
it was massively unprofessional. I'll never work with them.
Okay.
I
It
can
wasn't
be the
the money
great
thing.
I can be the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time, the best athlete to ever come out of the UK. I'll never ever work with Sky.
Really?
Yep.
When you say work, does that also mean like an interview?
Well, if I'm in a media scrum and someone from Sky asks me a question, I won't answer it.
Wow.
They'll never get headlines from me ever again.
Wow. That's big. I mean, they're the number one.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm the number one.
Well, I mean, media.
I don't give a shit about
Okay,
media.
fair. Hey,
Yeah.
respect. So I see the way the UK media covers boxers.
Yeah, boxing is a lot bigger
Tyson,
in the UK.
AJ.
Yeah.
Do you think now that one of their own champion of a sport,
Yeah.
of the glamour of it, do you think they'll treat you as such?
I hope so. Not only for my sake, but more for the sake of UK MMA.
Yeah.
I want it to be as big as possible. We're not celebrated enough, I don't think.
No.
We're probably celebrated more by other countries than we are in our own country, which is sad. Football and boxing, football being soccer,
Sure.
and boxing is massive in the UK. It's covered massively everywhere. MMA is still a little bit niche, which is a shame.
The champion deal was kind of not done, but it was moved along by the fact family values, but it's a good product, nice people. We need the sport to grow. We need it to go the right way. When we've all gone and we're not doing this, are there going to be leagues of MMA fighters? Are gyms going to be employed to feed fighters upwards, or is the UFC going to keep a monopoly and keep doing what
I
talking
think you're right.
politics
and
now?
I think we spoke about it before. Is like, I want young fighters to not go through what we've been through, which is financial issues. Until basically, you can't really be good at MMA unless somebody's funding you to do it, or you've got a really good sponsor, or I have my dad and some close friends around me who I owed a lot of money to, and by the time I was making any money, I was in debt. I had to pay people back. I would love them to get financially supported from the time you're 16 and you're really into it. You can fight on local shows and make at least a couple of grand just to keep you going till your next fight. That'd be amazing.
Did you see The Rock mention you yesterday?
Yeah, I did see The Rock mention me.
That's pretty freaking
pretty cool. I thought it was cool as well. Yeah.
Like you're the example of I would stand no chance. You're the guy.
Yeah.
Top of the mountain.
I like that. I'm yet to meet The Rock.
Wow.
So hopefully I'm going to.
But the fact that The Rock is just name dropping.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
surreal,
cool.
right?
It's cool. Yeah.
Would you ever do that stuff?
Wrestling.
I saw you with the boys with Cody.
I enjoyed it. Cody Rhodes is my guy now.
That's your guy.
He's my guy. Yeah. I don't know too much, to be honest, about this generation.
You would be a perfect wrestler. The size,
I think I got the moves.
quickness.
You can do these.
I got the
back
flips
flips
and all
you
that.
do the
Yeah,
flips.
do all that. Yeah. I think I'd be good. I'd enjoy
Did they
it.
ask you to do like a bit here or there?
So I wanted to do a bit. The UFC put the blockers on it.
When?
I just thought, because there was an event in Manchester,
Yeah.
and I went to the event, and I was like, I'd love to do a bit, and they were like, seemed pretty up for it. The WWE guys.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, just let me. I don't have to do anything like where I'm potentially injuring myself or somebody
Yeah,
else.
just like a run-in.
I'll just do a punch on
Yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
knock them out. It'll look good.
Yeah, they gave him like a speaking part.
Yeah, the UFC put a blocker on it, and they give me the speaking part, which I personally think is probably my worst.
What was it? What was the can you
worst
tell us
attribute.
the storyline? What was the angle? Who was the foil?
So it was Cody Rhodes and
Gunther.
Gunther.
Boy, yes, yeah.
He's also a really cool guy.
Yeah. Legend.
They came in. They had a bit of an argument, and they had an event coming up, Crown Jewel.
Yes.
And I said, well, why are you going to save it for Crown Jewel when we can do it right here?
You were going to be the guy.
No, I did that. And
Oh, you did it, yes,
I got
yes.
a bit of a, what do they call it? A pop.
A pop, yeah.
I got a bit of a pop.
But-
and they were loving it. And then
Thespian.
Yes,
I'm not a
yes.
thespian. And then Cody Rhodes put the blockers on it, and they didn't. Did they have a little fight or not? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
But you wanted to get physical.
I wanted,
Yeah, he wanted to.
but they wouldn't.
What you had to ask for clearance?
Yeah, the UFC didn't clear it. They wouldn't let me.
Nah.
No, unfortunately.
But now you're the man. Heavyweight champ.
I still don't think they'll clear it. Maybe post fighting career they'll let me do a bit.
It's unbelievable. Is it surreal for you, Andy? And I'll let you guys go in a moment. But your son is the
right.
undisputed heavyweight.
Do you know
champion.
what? I can't be more honest. It's nothing's any different than it was.
Yeah.
It just feels exactly the same. I really like the sport. I really like spending. He's my son. You know, we do what we do.
Top of the mountain. That
I know,
video-
but I will probably reflect at a different time.
Yeah,
tonight.
but you know, I think we look at it a little bit different. Do you know the phrase "the dog's bollocks"?
Yeah, of course. I love all the phrases. Yes.
That means you're like the top.
You're the man.
Boy. You're the man.
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, I don't think I'm the dog's bollocks. Like,
Really?
Well, I do in terms of fighting, yeah, but I feel like there's a big target on my back now. We better get to work. Like, I'm not resting on what I'm done. I don't think I'm a big superstar now or nothing. I'm just like, right, we got to get back in the gym, get working.
When do you think you'll find your assignment? Like, you'll get it. You'll know the date, the appointment.
This weekend.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're not leaving Vegas.
Hopefully, we're trying to get.
Yeah,
some-
you'll have the meeting.
Yeah, Hunter knows. I said, can we have a couple of hours? And he said, yeah, no problem.
Hopefully today.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully
that'd be
today.
nice.
Can I
some
come?
tonight? Yeah. Do you want to
No.
negotiate
Mate, I
some
don't think you're invited.
for the future?
Bro, why you got to say that?
You know, I'll
That's-
get ghosted.
You'll get ghosted.
I might lose my job if you show up.
And listen, this is great. By the way, you need to stop saying that. I heard you say it in a bunch of interviews.
Well, oh, sorry.
I want to keep. No, not about me. You keep saying I want to keep my job. I don't want to lose my job. You're the heavyweight champion of the world.
No, that's
You're the heavyweight champ.
That's a bit of Northwest humour for you.
I
right there.
know, but
I'm
you're not losing your
Just
job.
having the bants. I ain't going to lose my
By
job.
the way, they owe you.
I'm the freaking poster boy of the UFC these days.
That's more
I'm
like
I'm
it.
the dog's bollocks.
Yes, yes.
But he's got a contract. Those contracts are
What contract?
the UFC fight contract.
No,
that he
I
signed.
understand, but this idea that like you can't pick your fight or you can't announce your fight, this is nonsense.
That's how they work.
You're the man. What are they going to do? Strip you? What are they going to do? Not fight you for a year?
Well, yeah.
They've already done all this.
Done all
Done
this.
all that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, we tried that.
No,
Didn't
you're
like-
right,
We didn't
you're
like
right.
it, did we?
You're the man.
Yeah.
You need to stretch. Like, you think Connor waits for an announcement?
Don't know.
No.
He does not.
What do you think next?
I think it's going to be Cyril Gane. And I think it's going to be in October. You have two options.
Do you think he deserves to? Deserves is the wrong word. He's
It's
a really
not so
good-
much a question
He's a
of-
really good fighter, and it'll be a really good fight.
Yeah.
But he's already had 2 shots at it.
It's a
and
weird
against
thing.
Volkov, he didn't. He wasn't great.
No, it's a weird thing, but there's
Volkov
no one
won.
else. There's no one else. He's a big name. Again, there's no one else. And there's a backstory. You could sell that fight. There's 2, 3, 4 years of interaction between the two of them. Unfortunately, right now you're in a position where, just like DJ, who was here not that long ago, there was such a gap between him and the rest of the weight class.
Yeah.
He just kind of he had to fight Joseph Benavidez over and over again because there was no one else.
So who should Almeida fight then? Volkov, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be a good fight.
I'd like that.
I'd enjoy that.
Who's that?
But no, Volkov and Almeida. Volkov's like a serious.
No, he's good. He's very good.
He's like someone who stayed at the top of the division for a long time. He's really good. I think that would be a good test.
Oh, yeah,
Be a good
for
fight.
sure.
And then the winner of that.
I like what Almeida's doing. He's really trying to go for
Fair
it.
play.
But you need that one loss to.
That's not my. I'll fight anybody.
Curtis.
That's not my decision.
Yeah.
If
And what
you-
about the one that, if there's a group that he's beaten? So Cyril's at the top, so he's got to fight him. But if he didn't fight him, and it's not Almeida, what about the others?
Oh no. the two
No, I know, I know.
Now we're
No.
going all the way down the
No,
ladder.
yeah. But I'd like Tom to fight everybody in the top 10 to then say he's fought everybody in the top 10. He's
100%.
He's really good, and he's the best you've ever had.
Listen, the best case scenario would be if they could do the Francis fight, but we all know it's.
I think just bring back Brock Lesnar.
God.
Bring him back. Get the Rock in.
Yeah.
Get his name dropping me in press conferences and all kinds.
Insane. You
think he's a
versus
little bit
Frank
too old
Mir,
now.
Cain Velasquez. When
Oh,
he's out.
that was prime heavyweights, wasn't it?
Yes,
That's when the heavyweights
those were the
were-
days. Man, you
Yeah.
look at some of those heavyweight rankings like
Unbelievable.
2016,
Oh, yeah.
2015, JDS, Kane, Brock, Roy Nelson, like even those guys, like even the top.
But were they that good, or was a lot of them at the same level at the same time?
I think they were good.
Yeah, they were good. They were good.
I think they're better than the top
I'm
10
not saying
of
they're not.
today.
I'm saying were they?
Overeem was in the mix too, and
Yeah,
I know
they're
there were
really
some, the guys were doing stuff, but like they were quality. My JDS was quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all
Verdum was
good.
in there. Like we could go on and on. Like these are all Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
in
they're
my
all good.
opinion. I don't know how many
Yeah.
of those are in the mix right now, but it doesn't matter. You're the man.
JDS doesn't get the respect he deserves either.
I agree.
And
You
that's
you
not-
were watching those fights back then?
course I
Yeah,
was.
he's
Of course I was.
mad UFC
Yeah,
fans forever.
You were
Yeah.
staying up late.
Nah, we never stayed up late.
You'd watch
We
the
don't
next
do the
day?
late thing.
First thing in the
watch
morning.
next
Big
day.
First
breakfast.
thing.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
No.
No spoilers.
Phones off.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Phones off.
Full card.
Yeah, full card. But fast forward.
Not anymore though. I don't really do it anymore.
No.
The small weights he's not
I just
interested in.
no. The small weights are tough.
the flyweights.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to, because I think this fight this weekend, I think that Kai Kara-France, he could throw a spanner in the works, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because he's very dangerous for a flyweight. A lot of the
Hits hard.
flyweights are very, very good.
Pantoja's very good.
No, I'm not taking it. He's amazing. But I think that Kai Kara-France, don't get me wrong, I think Pantoja's better, in all honesty. But I think that Kai Kara-France has the ability that not a lot of flyweights do, that they can turn the lights off on somebody else.
Who do you have in the main?
Massive fan of Oliveira. I think you're a bit crazy if you bet against Topuria right now.
Yeah.
I think he's in his prime right now. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I do think I think that Topuria is almost unbeatable at the moment.
Do you agree? Do you watch these guys too?
Yeah, I watch all the fighting. Not that.
You watch-
All I do is watch fighting.
Really? Just
And-
MMA?
and coach. That's it.
MMA only?
I watch jiu-jitsu matches with a gi.
No boxing.
Yeah, I watch boxing. As
You
well.
do watch everything.
I
What are you
just-
talking about? You
just
watch
to-
kickboxing as well. You watch
Just
I
to-
love it.
Rico,
I don't.
followed Rico all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I love all the combat sports. I love how people move and what they do and trying to work out.
Who's your favorite fighter?
Tom,
Ah, what an answer. Other than your son?
no hesitation. Marvin Hagler used to be my favourite fighter.
Wow. That's a legend right there.
Yeah.
Hagler Hearns, one of the all-time great
Unbelievable.
rounds.
March.
Do you know who my
85.
favourite fighter is?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know for right now, the most interesting guy in the UFC right now for me is DDP.
DDP.
Yeah.
Because he's awkward?
Because I don't know what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah.
Usually I can watch guys fight and I can get a feel for what the kind of plan is of attack and the strategy and what they're going to do and the way they're going to move and stuff like that. With DDP, it's just a complete mystery. The more I watch him, the less I understand him, and I think it's fascinating. Like as a fan and a person who's got like an MMA brain, it's fascinating for me. So I can't wait for his fight.
Who do you think wins that? That's a tough
I'm
one.
never betting against DDP again in
Really?
my life.
Wow, wow.
I've done it.
Because
I've done it
earlier on you
loads.
were...
I've done it a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I never thought he's exceeded my expectations. He's obviously doing something in there that the naked eye can't see. He's doing something. I don't know if he's offbeat timing, his strength, his toughness, his durability. I don't know what it is. You'll have to ask his opponents. I don't know. But I'll never bet against that guy again.
What about all-time? Like when you were a kid?
GSP.
GSP,
Easy,
right. Yeah,
easy
yeah.
question. Yeah.
Anderson Silva for me.
Anderson, interesting.
I know he got done for doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was so exciting to just put people
He
away.
was very good.
Did you guys go to any of those fights in England?
Yeah, loads.
Yeah, yeah. We used to
70,
go all
UFC 70 did you go to?
Who was
was
on?
Did you go when Couture got knocked out by Gabriel Gonzaga?
Yes,
You were there?
yes.
What a freaking
Wait.
scene that was. Do you remember that with the head kick?
No,
Yeah,
no, that wasn't
yeah.
Couture.
Not
That was
Gonzaga,
it wasn't
Krokop.
Krokop. Yeah, we were there.
It was
As a result,
Krokop.
yes,
we were
yes,
there for
yes.
that.
Yeah, we were there.
for that.
As a result of the knockout, it ended up being Gonzaga. You were there for that?
Yes, we were there.
Oh my gosh.
Tom was about 14
Gonzaga
then,
knocking him
15.
out and his leg.
Twisting.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I was there for the rematch in Krakow, Poland as well. Krakow, Poland.
Okay, yeah, that was a few years later.
That was-
What about Rampage against Dan Henderson? UFC 75.
No, we didn't watch that.
Don't
That was
think we watched
Pride
that.
versus UFC.
Don't think we watched that.
No,
one.
we didn't see that.
Were you at, there was one in Birmingham, Bisping against Chris Lieben.
Yep.
You were
Yeah,
at that one.
100% were there. for
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Just watching all the time, Tom.
Were you at
We-
like the brawl at Royal Albert Hall?
No, we didn't watch it. That was 36. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Ian Freeman?
Yeah.
Wow.
Frank
I
Mir.
remember when Bisping fought Elvis Sinisic in
Yes.
Manchester. I
Yeah,
think that
we-
might have been the same event as Krokop and Gonzaga. I think.
Yes, UFC 70, I think, was
Yeah.
the first after a long stretch after the Albert Hall one.
Yeah.
And then there was, later on when Bisping fought in the middle of the night. Were you in the UFC yet? No, you weren't in the UFC. 2016.
No, when he fought Anderson Silva, no. I wasn't in the
No, not even that. No, he fought Dan Henderson too.
John Henderson, sorry. Yeah.
Were you at the Anderson
Second
fight?
one.
Yes. in
You were
London.
there?
Yeah, in London.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was there too. That was, you had already started though.
Started what, in the UFC?
No, your
MMA.
career. You were
Yeah,
already-
yeah.
That was 2016.
Yeah, I'd already started, yeah.
Man, this has been tremendous.
Did you answer the question at the Pereira fight?
No.
What about him?
He said, "Would you like to fight Pereira?"
Yeah, I've said, yeah, I'll fight anybody.
What about you?
Anybody? Don't
You'd
just
come
fighting it.
on.
They can't get
Rank
right.
them for me. Who do you want first?
In the real world now, Tom, to fight. Cyril Gann is probably, like you said, the best fight
Yeah.
for him to do now.
The Pereira fight would be the most.
I'm
like,
not bothered. Doesn't
would
bother
be
me.
the sexiest. You know,
Yeah.
that would be the most high profile.
Yeah, I guess.
Does he need to fight heavyweight first, though?
Nah.
Does he need to win against
he's a big
Ankalaev first?
Nah.
Maybe fight Ankalaev if he beats him twice.
Nah.
What, me fight Ankalaev?
If he beats Pereira twice.
Ankalaev's good, man.
That'd be an interesting one too.
Yeah,
Ankalaev's good. I think he's massively underrated. Ankalaev.
He is.
He's
He
really
is
good.
underrated.
That's a
really
good
good.
fight.
Him versus Ante. He said he only likes to fight people that go to his house.
No, that's the people I don't
That's
want to
it.
fight.
You said what?
I said I won't fight anyone who's been to my house.
That's fair.
That's my rule.
Ante's in. He's great.
Ante's in. Yeah,
What a guy.
congratulations.
Yeah.
And is Mick coming back soon?
Slick Mick.
Yeah.
Slick Mick's getting over an injury at the moment.
Okay.
But he'll be back soon, I would
And
imagine.
Phil DeFries,
Phil DeFries.
maybe the
he's-
most underrated heavyweight in the world.
Yep.
Does he need to
Very
come back
good.
to the UFC?
I don't know.
He's happy.
He's on a
They treat
he's
him
on
well?
a cushy deal over there, I think. I
Okay.
think and his last fight, I actually I've watched his opponent for a long time, and I thought it was a really dangerous fight for Phil at this stage. Phil just went out there and crushed him. Again, he looked great.
If Phil gets his hands around somebody.
He's so strong.
Yeah, he's like a big bear.
He's so strong.
Really
We
good.
have this custom
World
table
class.
here. You saw
Yeah.
this
I saw
Oliveira
Rico
Helwani.
signing it.
with my name on it.
Right.
With the show, because we're doing these shows out here, and we asked everyone who came by to sign it, and we're going to auction it and give it to Ben Askren's family. All
amazing.
all the
Oh,
money.
brilliant. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
So he's going through a tough time. So if you guys don't mind, I know you have a lot of things. What do we have on tap for the rest? Are you doing UFC X? Any appearances?
No.
You're nothing. That's it. You're going home. You're just gonna camp out at UFC headquarters.
No, we're what today? You mean? What we're
Yeah.
doing
Like,
today?
what's on tap? What's on the
We're going to
itinerary?
Slap. We're going to Slap.
Oh, you're
tonight.
going to slap
Yep.
tonight. You like this slap stuff, Andy?
He was no.
It's a fun time though.
It's a nice.
I bet.
It's
The energy.
when you're in the
It's
energy.
vibey. It's
Yeah.
vibey.
There's a
Vibey.
vibe.
I'd say, yeah.
Where is it? At the Fontainebleau.
Yeah.
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 Tom likes it because it's like media after.
Oh,
He gets to meet celebs and stuff.
No,
yeah.
I
There's
don't
all the
know.
influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
You like those
no,
guys?
yeah, he didn't.
Not really.
Yeah.
No,
Not my
it's
team.
not
be
for me.
honest.
You're kind of an influencer too.
Well,
You-
I am
Ooh.
a bloody
Judge,
cage
yeah.
fighter. I'll remind people of that pretty soon.
Just
Yes.
a cage
People,
fighter.
It has been a while.
people started coming up to me and like, I've seen you on TikTok.
Oh no!
Seen your videos.
Oh, I might as well
On
just retire
YouTube.
now. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you're doing like meals with Patty and stuff like that.
He's doing well though. The YouTube.
He is doing well, but we
Well,
need,
not Paddy, me.
oh you're
I'm doing well.
You're
I
killing.
mean, Paddy's doing well as well.
Yes,
but,
yes. All you
we're-
guys.
We're doing well. We've got some big stuff coming out.
Yeah. What else?
Europeans
We've got all
are doing
kinds.
well.
We've got what?
Very well.
The Europeans are doing well.
Yeah, the Europeans are smashing it on
Yeah.
the world stage now. It's great.
The guys at our gym.
We've got all kinds coming out. We're actually really ahead on the YouTube content. So
Oh, you got stuff in the bank.
we've got stuff in the bank, yeah, which is great. yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be cool.
Well, it's all going well. Congratulations. Thank you
you.
so much, Tom.
Thank you.
Let's hug it out. Come on, guys.
All right.
Let's
Wait,
do
my
it.
back's a bit stiff. I'm going to have to warm it up.
Aspinall, you're the man. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. What a beast you are.
I know.
It reminds me of me when I hug myself off the back.
It's really funny because people who see him fight always say to me, "Will he get down to light heavyweight?" I said, "Have you never seen him?" And when they see him, "Oh, you're big."
Oh my gosh.
He's a lot bigger than people think he is.
What do you got? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's good.
Any mean messages?
No mean messages.
Do you mind?
I'll do it, of course.
We got to take. Where's GC? GC, you got to take a picture of me and the champ. Did you see GC wearing your shirt?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, he was there yesterday.
Love him.
Raul Rosas, you're a fan.
Yeah, I like him.
He's tiny. I thought
He's
he was a
cool.
lot- I thought he was a lot bigger
135.
than that. Yeah.
Met him before, it's cool.
Do you see Connor's shirt here? I
Seen
think
it.
I think you like Connor more than me.
I love Connor.
Yeah, he's the man. Andy, get in there as well, but do it from the opposite side.
From this side.
Yeah, because it would be upside down. Let's take a quick one. I'm sorry, Frank. Come here with Mr. and Miss.
All right, let's go on. I'll sign this in a minute.
Okay, let's do it.
I love the dog. The dog edition's cool.
Security.
What's the dog? Oh yeah, I like it.
To the audience at home, they are taking a picture together.
Thank you, guys.
No, it's no problem.
Thank you. We're still live, by the way.
We're still
Oh yeah. Oh, we're still going. Yeah, you thought this was no. We go.
You still got work to do.
Yeah, we still got to work.
I got to pee.
You got to pee? It was all that Celsius. Thank you for this.
It's good. No problem.
We look forward to getting the care package. Shout out to Dos Brock.
No, we're champion now.
Well, I know, just he made.
Oh, that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. You're the man. And down with British Airways. Mr. Aspinall, thank you so much. Pleasure. I'll send Pizza your best.
Okay. Got to see this guy tomorrow. What do you think?
Which guy? Don't say anything. We're still live.
What do you think?
What do I?
Good event.
Good event, yes. Tell the UFC brass I say hello.
Anybody in particular?
No, just everyone. Everyone, yeah.
Cyril Gant, you think?
Yes.
I just think he's a bit entitled.
Nah, listen. There's no one else. You got to fight. You got to fight.
Ready to go.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Tom, all the best. Up Wigan. Wigan. Shout out to Wigan. Bye, Tom. All the best to you. You're the man. There he is, the great Tom Aspinall, everyone. Tommy Aspinall, Aspinall, Tommy Aspinall, na 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 na. Did you guys enjoy that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.